All right, so negative exponents, if you look at this, negative exponents basically mean that this value is in the wrong place. So you're going to make it positive by moving it to the denominator. And if it is in the denominator, you're going to make it positive by moving it to the numerator. So this one would be 1 over x to the 5th. Now this, you got to be careful. It's only the m that has a negative exponent, so the 3 has to stay. And again, you only move the one that has the negative exponent, so everything else stays. B to the 3rd over a to the 4th. Okay, so you only are moving the one with the negative exponent. Okay, so you can do these. It says simplify each expression, make sure the final answer has positive. So if you are adding, you're multiplying, so you can add, so you get w to the negative 2, well, you can't have negatives, so you just have to move it to the denominator. Okay, so I would actually put stuff together first. 20, c to the 3rd, d to the negative 4. And then you're just looking for the one that's negative, and so that is the only one you move. Okay? So again, I would do your simplifying first. Negative 18, x to the negative 11. The only one that is a negative exponent is the x. So the negative 18 stays on the top. Okay, and then let's take a look at this one. I would multiply first, so a squared, b to the 5th, c to the negative 5. You multiply, you add exponents. That's the only negative one. So that is the only one that moves. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at some of these that have outside. So I put a baby 1 here, and I get 8 to the negative 2 and p to the negative 10. Okay, they're both negative. 8 squared is 64, so that goes to the bottom, p 10. Okay, so same thing on the next one. So this would be, I would multiply in, I get 5 to the negative 3rd, y to the negative 6th. They're both negative. 5 to the 3rd is 125, y to the 6th. Okay, so then we're going to jump down to number 12. So on this one, I just look at it this way. I have 2 h's on the top, and I have 5 h's on the bottom. 2 of these will cancel, but my leftover h's are on the bottom, so it's 1 over h to the 3rd. So I just take these numbers and I subtract, and then once I subtract, I just leave it where the bigger one is. Okay, so if you look at the next one, this c is in the wrong place. So I'm going to write it down here. But the other c was fine, so I'm going to leave it. Okay, this d was in the wrong place, so I'm going to move it down. And this d is in the wrong place, so I'm going to move it up. So now I'm going to simplify. I have 9 c's on the bottom, and I have 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom for d's, so that's going to subtract. And there's my answer. Okay, this one is in the wrong place, so it needs to come up. And so 14 divided by 7 is 2, w to the 6th. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at some of these other ones. Turn the page. So again, I would take and I would move anything that's negative first. If you do that, it's easier to see what is going on. So the x to the 4th comes down here. So 36 divided by 12 is 3. And then you would have had y on the top. I don't know why I did that. And then x to the 4th can't be combined with anything, so it goes on the bottom. Okay. The next one, 18, doesn't have any negatives, so you don't have to move anything. So I'm going to just do the numbers, negative 1/2. And then I'm going to look at my p's. My bigger p is on the bottom, so I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to put it on the bottom. I'm going to look at my q's. My bigger q is on the top, so that means I'd have q to the 3rd on the top. And then finally, I'm going to look at my r's. My bigger one is on the bottom, so I'm going to have r to the 7th on the bottom. So you just leave it where the larger one is at, okay? So let's take a look at a couple of these mixed practices. So if I'm taking all of these to the -2, this is 4 to the -2, x to the -6, y to the -6. So that would be 1 over 16 x to the 6th, y to the 6th, plus, and if I take this, this is 2 to the -3, x to the -6, y to the -12th. And so 2 to the -3 is 8, x to the 6th, y to the 12th. Oh, I did that up here. I was like, they should be like terms. Because 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, those are like terms, so you're going to add them. And you can just do the numbers in front. So you can take your calculator out and do 1/16 plus 1/8. And then it comes out as a decimal, so you can change it to a fraction. And I'll show you how. You just have to ask me if you don't know. 3/16 x to the 6th, y to the 12th. Okay, let's take a look at 22. So first you're going to multiply the top. You get 30a to the 12th divided by a -12, a to the 14th. Well, 6 goes into 35 times, and 6 goes into 12 twice, and you would have a squared on the bottom because that's where the bigger one is at. All right, finally, last one. You're going to take the baby 1, and you're going to do a -6 squared is 36, x to the 8th, y to the 12th, over -4 to the 3rd is a -64, x to the -9th, y to the 15th. So on your calculator, you're going to take and you're going to do 36 divided by 64, and then you're going to reduce it, and that comes out as 9 over -16. This is negative, so it's going to move up to the top, and you have x to the 8th already there, so that's going to give you x to the 17th, and then your y's, the bigger ones on the bottom, y to the 3rd on the bottom.